Ligers, Celtic Ligers, Celtic Ligers, Celtic Ligers, Celtic Ligers, Celtic.
Can I just say one or two things real quick that I'd written down here to talk about?
Yeah, go for it.
News items I thought were funny.
Yeah.
Or we save those.
I don't mind. What do you want to do?
I don't know how much more we're going to get out of it, but I was on whatever. Yeah, I'll just read this stuff. Okay, so there was confusion over the reopening. Josepha Madigan was on the radio saying, the schools are going to reopen or whatever, and then Stephen Donnelly was on Claire Byrne, and so she's like, so relief, the schools are reopening, and Stephen Donnelly's like, well, actually I just thought I'd check before I got on, and he was doing his like McKinsey thing, the kind of folksiness of just like, you know, like I remember one time hearing Ben Shapiro being interviewed about fracking, and then by Joe Rogan, and so he was like, there's no evidence to suggest that fracking is harmful from the environment. It's simply like getting at the stuff. And then Joe Rogan would ask a question, oh, really? But I thought I read an article that said this. And he's like, oh, yeah, well, I'll have to get back to you about that. But as far as I know, it's like this thing where it's like you appear that you're being reasonable, but then when you just look at it for like 2 seconds, it's like, you know, with Ben Shapiro, it's like you've come on here pretending to be an expert about fracking, and now you're saying you need to consult a bunch more people, and you're looking like, oh, I'm open to my mind being changed about things.
Exactly, yeah.
You're very definitely not. But like with Stephen Donnelly, it's this thing where it's like, full disclosure, I don't actually know what you're talking about, so I decided I would look that up beforehand. It's like, that doesn't make you like folksy and wholesome. That makes you look like a complete fucking idiot, and everybody's frustrated.
That's it.
And basically, that's what Claire Byrne said. Except, you know, she looked like she actually kind of like, because I've seen people on RTE respond to stuff, which has been really funny. Where it's like, you know, they have to cover for the government, and then the government says something, and then they go, and they hesitate, and you realize that
they've got off.
What am I supposed? Their wheels are spinning. What am I supposed to do with this information?
It's like, I saw, who's your one from Friends? The main woman.
Jennifer Aniston?
Yeah, and she was on Jay Leno.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I heard you on holidays. And then she goes, yeah, I was in Greece. And then he goes, Cyprus. Oh yeah, I was in Cyprus. And like, she'd gotten the thing wrong, but he knew the story hinged on it, so he had to correct her. And that's sometimes what it's like watching RTE. Like, that
is exactly what it was like with Claire Byrne, because she's there, and it's like, it's almost like she's trying to give a shit. She's just going like, oh my, can you understand how frustrating that is, Minister?
Like, yeah,
and he's going, he's like, yeah, it's really frustrating. Nobody knows more than me because I've got kids.
That's it. And then like, she's like, and I suppose you're sorry about it too, are you? And he's like, I am sorry.
and she, because actually, exactly as you say, she said, so the unions again, yeah? Yeah. I was like, dude, what are you talking about? The fucking unions? It's the government, you dumb bitch. And I don't mean bitch in a kind of like, I don't want to feminize it. I'm saying like bitch, you know? Whatever.
Okay.
I guess it's fine. Whatever. I'm just calling it like an idiot, you know. And I didn't want to make it like, oh, she's a woman, so I refer to her as a bitch. I call a lot of people bitches, you know.
Yeah. Take a word for that.
So then, the other thing that was happening is, so the next thing that I saw was fucking Mark Paul. He was on before Christmas talking about how there was no evidence to suggest that people were getting COVID in shops, okay? He's like, in fact, it's actually the safest place to be because they have to follow all these safety protocols, and actually people are getting it at home. They're not getting it in shops. You're like, okay. And then he's on TV now going like, there's no sense to zero COVID. There's no point in pursuing it. Advocating against mandatory quarantine, and he was like, there's no evidence to suggest that would be beneficial. And here's the other thing he said, we you know, I don't think that basically he was saying we shouldn't do it because there's no precedent to do it, okay? And so Holly Cairns was like just because Europe isn't doing it, that doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it. You know, it's like, we just look at the people who've succeeded and they have used this, so why don't we do that? And then he was kind of saying like, there's no evidence to suggest, and she's like, there is evidence, like you're lying, you know. And that's where the clip cut off for me. And he looks like, it just because one of the things that happened was he repeated something he said, and she was like, yeah, I heard you the first time and the second time. And he kind of made it okay, like, you know, don't make it out like I'm being some misogynist. And then it kind of went down that way instead. And I think, you know, I think that did bother me, because I was kind of like, no, you had him on the ropes there. You didn't need to act like he was being condescending to you for other reasons, you know. He's being condescending to you because he's part of this journalist commentariat who are determined to open up again, even after being proved so catastrophically wrong before again. You know,
Yeah.
it's absolutely mental. Would you not like why is he on that show? Like, you wouldn't invite anybody on if they were that wrong before, but then him being on there, like, I'm not entirely in agreement with the idea that op-ed writers can't say that they're wrong. You know, like, because I think that the whole thing about opinions is that they can change. So it's okay for him to be able to go, yeah, I fucked up, I got that wrong. But the thing that I accuse Stephen Donnelly of doing is not okay for a minister to do, but it is fine for a columnist to do, you know? And he's just like not doing it. And now he's being back on going like, nah, I think I was still right the time before. Anyway, then it all led up to an opinion poll with crazy conclusions with the data. And Pat Leahy going out to bat for how we should reopen again, and it's like,
Yeah.
what is
Apparently he's a death cult unto himself. Like.
that man is like, because I did actually, you say that, I did compare it to the text that we had to Jim Jones, you know, because you were reading about Jim Jones where he's like, all right, everybody, get up in the middle of the night and take poison and kill yourself because God told me to tell you that you have to die, you know. And then they all drank it, and it turned out it was just Kool-Aid. And he's like, all right, that was a test, but the next time it will be poison. And then he does that like 3 times, and then eventually it is poison, you know?
Yeah.
And so then it means that people are going into the tents, and they're seeing people like dying and screaming, but they're just continuing to walk in, drinking the poison, you know? And, but anyway, it's just crazy, because like, it's almost like Pat Leahy, like, has convinced himself of his own bullshit, or he needs to be right, or does he feel some sense of power that like he can manipulate public opinion to this extent? But also he's not even manipulating it, because as the poll shows, there's still appetite for further restrictions and lockdown to get back to normal.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's quite crazy. So like, yeah, I guess the Jim Jones thing doesn't really it you know, the whole analogy of making this calamitous proclamation to the point where people just get numb to it. I think that is relevant with COVID, but ultimately the part where he's feeling his own power, probably not. He's just somebody who is just obviously towing the government line to get a cabinet position. To get in some sort of government position, I don't think he's ever really going to get. Or maybe he will. I mean, who fucking knows?
No, I think his time has passed.
I think so. I think he is an incredibly boring thinker. Maybe he just likes that he has this position that he does, and he's just throwing his weight around. But like, do you not feel like, is there not a part of you that feels guilty at a certain point where it's like, some of those deaths I am partially responsible for? I don't, like, I guess you don't, because you need to believe that you were right, otherwise those deaths would be slightly on your conscience.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Anyhow, that was that.
Suppose
But you know, as Micheál Martin said, no confusion. There's no confusion there.
we should thank our patrons.
Thank our patrons. Sorry, ran very long.
What would the topic be?
Also, we have a new patron. I don't know if you saw.
Yes.
I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
Hitler.
Whoa. If you want more of that, subscribe to patreon.com/Celtic Ligers for that edgy humor you've been known to expect from the sultans of sleaze.
Yeah.
Jesus, where did that come from? That was a good one. That wasn't too bad.
So, yeah, you really pulled that out of the bag.
Yeah, I was like, where is this going? And then, lo and behold.
Yeah. Well, prayers were answered. Sleaze.
So what's our theme this week? I honestly, every time I opened up the Patreon and I saw this guy's name, I was like, I can't wait to say thank you to this man.
I think it is the environment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all right. Actually, this one's an easy one then, you know. So thank you to Simon Akers.
Yeah.
Do we need anything with that? Acres of lovely green fields that are saving the planet. How about acres of soylent that is...
Well, here's something that I learned. You know, acres of fields are bad for the environment.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, they are bad. I forgot about that.
So, acres of field that we will soon be cementing over my vision is this solution.
Yeah.
All I heard was that fields are bad, so I'm just like...
Fields are bad.
Just tarmac them over them, you know? Just set them on fire.
That's such a Fine Gael thing, isn't it? Okay, well, fields are bad, let's just tarmac over them. And there's like, no, not that. Make up your mind. He said they were bad, so they're good, so we're keeping them?
Yeah,
it's like, just plant trees on them. Oh, man, no, like, it's cheaper to just put tarmac over it. Like, fucking. So acres of lovely tarmac to have a dirt bike course or something, I don't know. Wouldn't be dirt bike, just motorbike.
BMX, maybe?
No, it has to produce fumes.
Just like an old truck.
Yeah, it's just an old truck to drive around in circles. Really, really quickly, I heard there was a guy who I think I've actually already told you this, was a guy in Galway who taught me grinds at like this grinds school that was in the evenings, and he was just incredibly like, he was just a bit of a kook, you know. Let's put it that way. Just very, he would keep apologizing for when he would do like a mistake in maths, okay, and he's like, and you take the one over. Oh my God, oh class, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. You do not take the one over. You do not take that over. And every time I was in the class, he was wearing the exact same crumpled suit, and he was very, you know, he was never clean shaven. He just looked. He was a bit of an oddball, is all I'll say, you know. But one of the things I heard from a friend of mine is like, this guy found out that a B&B was opening up next to him, so he put a lawnmower on morning, noon and night to create enough noise pollution that would prevent them from, you know, opening up this place or being able to retain guests. I don't know whether that was true, but it seemed like it's something this guy would conceivably do, and it was too interesting a story not to say. Just the idea of a lawnmower just sitting in the middle of a tarmac creating fumes forever.
Just revving somehow.
Yeah. Next up is Mark Stokes. And Mark Stoats, those amazing creatures that we kill them to keep warm.
They're like weird
turn
rats,
them into, like rats, just like Mark Stoats. A little rat. A little fucking rat. Thank you for the money, Mark. Really appreciate it.
You're also not a rat.
Next up is Mark Maloney.
Well, here's what about Mark Stokes. I was in Lochray, right?
Okay.
And they had a moat, you know? Mark Moat.
Filled with stoats?
But it's the only moated town in Ireland. They're sort of showing, the town council, or one of the members were showing it to me. And my friend was like, what's that smell? And we went over and the moat was full of petrol. I think I told you that before. But it was just like such a horrific image. They were trying to make it seem like so natural, and it's just like there's like such a thick layer of petrol on top, and they're like frantically ringing people, being like, "Why is the moat covered in petrol?" There people.
I loved. There was a great one. It was there was like an old house. It was like a big. Like this rich family owned this house like way back ago, and then it kind of sold on or something happened to it. Basically became a garden centre, okay? But on the outskirts of the house in the woods, there was like this fixture that was like a coolant room or something, okay? And it was like a stone, it was like a hole in the ground that was lined with stones, okay? And basically what it used to be used for is you would put any perishable foods in there so they would kind of be cold, you know? And our teacher in 6th class took us to show us a bit of history, and somebody had just taken a big shit in there.
Oh, that's so...
I just was like, here is this amazing piece of history. It's like just this big piece of shit.
It's horrible.
Yeah. So it's kind of like your story. kind of like that, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark Maloney. That'll be like Mark Baloney, because you know the wholesome food of bologna.
What about what about Mark Filoni? Because it's a Filoni to like litter, you know.
Yeah, like all these multiple felonies you've been committing.
Okay.
Yeah, someone up on the charge you've been committing. Anyway, whatever. No, I'm gonna stop it there. Actually, I just really like the idea of a lawyer thinking that felony is how you say it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like, excuse me, Your Honor, but he's committed multiple felonies. What did you say?
Yeah.
Felonies. Gone through college.
Yeah.
Been a lawyer for what, a decade or something. For some reason, this is the first time it's come up. You know?
Yeah. That's what it'd be like.
I think it was similar to a character I came up with at the start of this, based off of something that you said. But anyhow. Next up is, we're really dragging on this one, Blind to Burqa, and that'll be, of course,
I've
got one, but it's very bad.
Try it out anyway.
Scalding, and I'm going to say debota again.
Okay.
The carryover from last week. It's because when you're in a boat, you're on the water, and it's fucking scalding because of all the climate change. You know, it's water world. We're living on loads of hot water now.
Okay. It doesn't really, yeah. Scald in the boat. It's sort of like it's what you do to clean the boat, really.
What about scalding de curica?
Go on.
It's the same thing, except instead of a boat, it's a currach. Okay.
What about... I'm trying to think, like the burrow. Like a burrow, isn't that what a rabbit lives in or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So that would be like something, the burrow, like...
A blossoming...
What about flooding? Flooding the burrow.
Flooding the burrow where all the rabbits drown because of climate change. Yeah,
Yeah.
Perfect. Alan Carroll, and that'll of course be...
Alan, I'll have a car.
Please. Alan Carroll is I'll have a car, please.
Yeah. Next one.
Rob Gale, that'll be...
Bob.
Hail, because of all the hail that'll be happening because of climate change, probably.
What about Bob Gale? Like, you're bobbing in the gale force wind on your boat.
Nice. His email is actually... Well, sorry. Almost. Let's just say it contains... Sorry about that, Rob.
Next one, moving on.
Stephen Bradley, and that'll be evening badly.
Yeah.
Because we won't have much of an evening.
Yeah.
Once the sun is out all the fucking time.
That's it. The Earth will move too quickly.
Is that what happens with climate change? I'm pretty sure it is. Alison Spittle, that'll be Alison Kittle. It'll kill you. It'll kill you. You know the way people say that?
No. What does it mean?
Fuck. Never mind. Oh god.
What about like what's a ballast? There's like a weight or something, is it?
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah.
What about ballast off kilter?
Ballast off kilter, just like the bloody climate.
Yes,
am I right?
Exactly.
I'm up on stage with a brick wall. What's the deal? You know, the climate. This is ballast all off more like ballast off kilter.
Yeah. That sounds better. More like ballast off kilter, like the fucking environment. Am I right?
Boom, 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 boom.
Boo.
That's the bass line.
Yeah. That's the bass line from Seinfeld.
Actually, it's not even. It's my imitation of Kenneth doing the bass line in 30 Rock, which it never sounded good to me.
What was that?
He just went boom, 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 boom. And it's like, that does not sound like the Seinfeld bass line.
Yeah.
What does the Seinfeld bass line sound like to you? Can you think about it?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of it right there.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Pretty funny.
You know the
Yeah.
way it's not actually done on the bass, it's on the synthesizer.
Yeah, and am I crazy, or did he take laughs and kind of extend them into notes? Is that something I heard?
Seems like the sort of thing you do. And then you
Yeah.
do a different one for each intro.
A different
Like he'd re-record
Seinfeld thing.
He'd re-record.
Huh.
Yeah, because like, you know the bit where, you know, it used to be that like Jerry would be doing stand-up and the whole thing would be going on underneath.
Yeah.
He would record each one of those.
Did you see the one in season 3 or 4? I can't remember which, where they changed it and they put in a bunch of like women going, yeah.
No.
So it was like the same thing, except there were just these voices that would come up and they go, ba ba doo ba, and stuff like that. It just made it fucking terrible. And they were like, we changed it, but then it turned out we actually had to seek permission to change it. So apparently the network saw it and were like, what the fuck is that?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like change that immediately.
For some reason, I watched like 4 seasons of Seinfeld on the DVDs. For some reason, I never realized it had a laugh track, right? And then I started watching season 4, and I realized there was a laugh track, and I was like, what the fuck? They added in a laugh track? And I thought I was going crazy.
Yeah, like that happens to me sometimes. But there was a show, I can't remember what it was. I think it was actually Father Ted, and Father Ted has a huge laugh track.
Yeah.
But because I watched so many sitcoms with laugh tracks, I think it was Graham Linehan. You know, I draw a distinction between Graham Linehan and Glinner. Okay, Glinner is a different entity, but Graham Linehan was being interviewed about, and he was like, "Yeah, because like I just really like studio sitcoms with laugh tracks, and like Father Ted, like that's what we tried to do with Ted," and I was like, did that have a laugh track? Like, it was so funny that like it just became second nature. Now it's like more shows without laugh tracks than had them, but at the time it was so ubiquitous that you didn't even like think about it.
Yeah.
Like another thing would be like Scooby-Doo has a laugh track.
Yes, it does. That always freaked me out because I was like,
Yeah.
how are they watching this? Like,
Yeah.
next name.
Yeah. Next name, Richard Zimmerman. Pitch us your don't say Zimmerfried. Pitch us your Glimmer Man. Okay. So you know the way the Glimmer Man used to come. I'm going to look it up now, but I'm presuming something to do with coal. Okay.
I think he lit the lights or something, didn't he?
The Glimmer Man, somewhat pejorative name. Oh, apparently it's a somewhat pejorative name.
Sorry, Richard, we didn't mean it.
To inspectors who were employed to detect the use of gas in restricted periods during the year.
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect.
That's actually perfect.
That's actually
yeah.
Richard. Give us your what was it?
Pitch us your Glimmer Man.
What about Richard Glimmerman?
Yeah, I guess just that. But the idea of Pitch us your Glimmer Man, it's like some ad agency, Mad Men or something like that, and it's like, we're not selling Glimmerman. We're selling. Next name, Bridget Purcell. Okay. Pitch us, but that's pitching a Glimmerman. Okay, cool.
Richard person on bio. Isn't that good? Is that good?
Yeah, exactly. That'll help the environment, probably.
Yeah, one or the other. It's either better or worse. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure she loves that as well.
Does the bio stand for biodegradable? So it's non-bio, non-biodegradable.
I wonder. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Non-bio. Maybe you're right. Maybe it is non-biodegradable.
Because I was always like, why? If
non-biological.
I was like, if they're easier on their skin, why aren't they all non-bio?
No, it's a non-biological.
What does that mean?
So one's a chemical. I just know. Enzymes, apparently.
Oh, I see.
Okay, next one. Milky Fox.
What about dead fox? You know, on a road.
Yeah, dead fox. Because all the foxes are going to die. They're going to become an extinct species because of climate change.
Yeah. Or are they just die in the roads? You know?
Maybe they'll become milky because the sun is going to get so bright it'll just like
burn their eyes out. No,
yeah, milky dead fox. So imagine you're walking. It's like The Road. You know that Cormac McCarthy thing. It's climate change ravaged everywhere. It's kind of post-apocalyptic. On the side of the road, there's a pure white fox, and it's dead. Okay.
Yeah, dead, happy.
dead happy to be enjoying the results. It's sunny every day now. All those skeptics who said this would be bad, don't know what they're talking about.
Time to work and it's tan, you know?
Yeah. This is so ridiculous, but this is the first time, and I'm not going to read it, I'm just saying, this is the first time I've seen this guy's email address, okay? And it has his name in it.
Stop. You just read it. That's reading his email.
Yeah, I don't read his email, but it's got his name, but we don't know. We've been calling him Milky Fox the whole time.
Oh, I see.
But it's got his name in it.
What is his name?
I'm not going to say it because that would reveal his email.
Yeah, now we can never say his name.
Let's give it a few episodes, people will forget. The next one is... I was going to read the email as a joke because I thought it was funny. But the next one is Kyle O'Neill. And of course, the one I know that we just end up doing this a lot, but it is my favourite one that comes up, which is Kyle will kneel down and pray for God's mercy once the climate comes, okay?
Yeah, once the climate comes.
Climate's is like... Yeah.
Once that arrives, you better be praying.
You better be praying. It's like, please, God. And God will look down and say, no.
Yeah. God will look down and be like, I don't speak Chinese. You know, I was trying to think of some. I'd say Chinese.
It's going to speak Mandarin, yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Mandarin? Which is the one that the most people speak?
English.
Dialect. They all speak English Chinese. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Because the
Connor
other thing
Barry,
that I've heard is that it's like they're both the same written down, but they're not the same spoken.
Interesting.
It's like, how is that the case?
Why are you doing this to me, China? Why you gotta make it so difficult, okay?
Why you gotta be lying?
One time I met a guy from China. When I was 12, I was in Toys R Us and I asked the guy up at the counter whether I could buy a game from America, because I was in America. I should have said that as well. I was like, can I?
Sure, go ahead.
He was like, no, I was like, could I play it in Ireland? And he was like, oh, no, you couldn't. You know, they're all region locked. You need to play a game. And he was like, that's unless you get a mod on your PlayStation, like I did with mine, so I can play these Japanese games. But then you also got to learn Japanese, and it's pretty tricky. I wouldn't recommend it. Said this to a 12-year-old in the same breath, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a very nice man, you know.
Like,
I do like that he
don't speak Chinese, you know, or Japanese.
But he learned to speak Japanese so he could play their games on his modded PlayStation, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, in like 2000, like in 2001. That
2001,
was such a hard move. Like,
it's like insane. He like cracked open the thing so he could manipulate with the machinery inside, and then ordered it, and then probably paid post and packing. Imagine that. You'd have to wait the guts of a year to get anything from Japan. Yeah. Like, remember how long it took for fucking stuff to arrive from America?
No.
It used to take like months.
Yeah. I never really ordered anything when I was young.
Oh. Well, my uncle lived in America, so that's who I was visiting.
Yeah.
So he sent me stuff from there. Next up is Connor Barry. What about Connor Worry, because of all the wars over water that are going to be.
Yeah.
Water Worry. Okay.
Excellent. That's a really good one.
Yeah, that's the great one. We're fighting over water. That came from me thinking Connor Wario.
Okay.
That's the genesis for that one. I just want that one to not fall by the wayside. Liam McCartan. That'll be.
Steam is starting.
Steam is really starting to kick off now.
Yeah. Yeah. You heard about Steam? You just download games directly on your computer. You don't need a disc at all.
I was talking about steam powered stuff in the future because you wouldn't have electricity.
I don't know how to tell you this, but steam powered makes electricity. It's actually the most commonly used way to make electricity.
Is that for real?
Yeah.
Are you joking me right now?
No, it's like... No. That's like what the entire fossil fuel industry is built around, is like steam.
Alright.
Well
then, even more appropriate.
Teacher, you know?
Yeah. Well, in the future, when you're downloading games off of Steam and outside you look out the window and it's like just fucking 100
No, so mine was that steam is coming off the ground because it's hot.
Yeah. Yeah, so when you're downloading your Steam games and Steam is pouring off the ground,
Yeah.
okay, that's when you'll know you're in the future.
Yeah, that's when you know you're dead.
Yeah, cool. Claire O'Newlawn, what about a rare old spool of thread that I'm trading for supplies in the future?
Yeah, for beans and cigarettes.
For beans. Just imagine, because beans and cigarettes, those would be things that, like, if you traded, those would be things you would use to trade.
I know,
you
they're
know?
both like, yeah, and then they're getting like a spool of thread for the beans and cigarettes.
I'll give you a spool of thread for a carton of cigarettes. Well, that's worth its weight in gold, because I need to
Yeah.
need to sew my clothes back together.
Yeah, I need to darn a sock.
Do you have any needles? No. Oh. Suppose you can probably make those out of, like, you know,
Bone.
an animal bone, yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Niall McGillicool. How about Niall, the earth is not cool anymore?
What about Nile? In the Nile, girls would be cool. Because
They would be.
'Cause
Let's just be honest.
let's just be freaking honest. But also that the Nile is now so big
Yeah.
that if you live in Egypt, you need girls. Do you know what I mean?
What about this one? Denial that the climate is cool, okay? It's actually, there's no problem with global warming. You're just denying the fact that there's no problem with global warming. That's your denial.
Who's denying what?
You know, we have climate change deniers. Well, I want somebody to be denying that
Thing is cool. Isn't that
that there's a problem at all.
denying? Oh, I thought you meant like denying, as in you're denying the Earth is cool. As in you're,
Oh no,
as in
no.
like you're acknowledging that the Earth is heating.
Yeah, no.
Yours
not that.
was denying is cool.
I don't know. Denying the earth
It's
is
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Either one, I say.
Ronan Carey.
Wrote him wary. Because you want to be wary of how frightening the future is, I suppose.
Yeah, because you know how scary the future is. You want to be wary of
Yeah.
it, you know? So you got to keep your wits about you in the future because it's really scary.
Yeah.
And you got to be wary of that.
Yeah.
You know? Okay. Neve Kelly.
Neve. I'm going to say it.
Do it. I know what you're going to say. Do it.
Well,
Why not?
really? I mean,
Yeah.
because
It's got to be. What else could it be?
the bogs or something. You know what I mean?
Because, you know, we're living, it'll be like Water World, except there'll be just like a foot of water just covering the entire planet,
Yeah.
you know?
That would be amazing.
That's it. Yeah. Just be sloshing around it in your wellies. And I was like, actually, this wasn't so
That's
bad.
it. And like when you fall, it's fine. You just swim in.
Yeah.
I really like that
Um,
planet in Interstellar, where it's all just like a little bit of water.
Yeah. I love that. And then the time passed differently, and your man was up there for like a year or something. Do you remember?
Yeah. I was like, reminds me of when my mom
Fucking
goes to the
COVID.
shop.
Oh, sorry.
No, what am I wrong?
Yeah. That was actually better. Because it's more like, yeah, it's when your mum goes to the shop and it's like, is she ever going to come back? I just want my mommy back.
Yeah.
Where is she? I'm so lonely. Oh my God, there she is.
Yeah.
And it turns out she's just covered her face with her hands the whole time.
for an hour.
Yeah.
For an hour.
So we all, you know, and also let's, you know, while we're thanking people, thanks to mommies, all right? To mommies out there
Yeah.
everywhere.
Thanks to
love
mummies.
it. Mummies, yeah. Thanks to all our mummies.
Do you ever meet somebody who
Um,
calls their mom mammy and or their dad daddy?
I think that's in the north, isn't it? They do that quite a lot.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it is weird. I mean, it doesn't sound as weird in the north, but when you're down here and somebody goes, "Oh yeah, my mummy," like, oh,
Yeah.
don't say that.
Yeah.
Like, stop saying that.
Don't call her that.
Don't do her like that, you know. I love my friend. He used to call his mum. Her name was Trish, so he just called her Trish.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, "Do you not feel weird like calling your mum Trish?" It's like, "It's her name." You get really mad at me. It was like, it's such a lack of it's such a show of disrespect to call your mother mum.
Yeah.
You know.
You don't even know your mom's name.
Yeah.
Next one.
Shit. Now that you mention it. Next one is Paulie Doyle. How about Paulie spoiled foods? Because there's gonna be loads of spoiled foods in the future.
What about spoiled holidays?
Yeah, because all the fucking holidays are spoiled by COVID. If we just get over this freaking hysteria over the lockdown, we can go back to having the conversation about the environment. And frankly, nobody's having that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next.
That's the conversation we need to be having. Is about how we should all be allowed to do what we want, and talk about the environment as one of them.
Yeah. Next.
And the last one is Joe Joyce. And of course, that would be
Snow.
Snow. Snow place. Snow foisted. Because the snow is going to be foisted.
What about snow voice? It's like use your snow in voice, you know?
Hey, the climate is killing us all. Use your snow voice, maybe. You know, like where people say use your indoor voice.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you're a grown man. Use your snow voice.
Yeah. Hey, stop speaking quietly. Use your snow voice.
Yeah, it's a pandemic.
Yeah, it's a pandemic. You should be screaming.
You should be quiet.
Use your
and
snow
pissing
voice.
yourself.
Yeah. Hey, you don't need to tell me twice.
Yeah, way ahead of you.
Did you ever see that Lemmy sketch, the piss yourself sketch?
No.
He's like, if you're ever feeling down or depressed, he's like, don't kill yourself or anything like that. Just piss yourself. And so he's like sitting despondently in a chair and he pisses himself. Somebody comes over and goes like, Lemmy, what's the matter? He just pissed himself. And it's like, oh my God, I didn't know it was that bad. You know?
I think if someone did that near me, I'd just leave. I wouldn't ask.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, well, they obviously want me to go.
Yeah.
Obviously too polite to ask me to leave.
Notice a fatal flaw in your logic, Lemmy.
Yeah.
With your sketch. Actually, people would just walk away, okay? And that talks about the society that we live in.
Yeah.
You know? That's why you should learn. If you're under attack, if you're being assaulted, you should yell fire. Because people will run toward a fire. They won't run. That's what Fight Club taught me.
What is that?
It's supposed to be that if you're being assaulted, you shouldn't yell for help. You should yell fire. Because people will go see a fire. But they won't help anybody.
What if you yelled... like a Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber, oh my God. Oh, he's here.
He's here.
I can't believe he's here. And then they show up, they're like, where is he? And it's like, this guy's attacking me. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's
I did not sign up for this.
Yeah, he's here right next to this guy who's kicking the shit out of me. All right.
Right. Yeah, he said the guy saves your life. And so, where's Justin Bieber? Oh, he's coming.
Yeah.
And then you leave.
Yeah, then you beat the shit out of him.
Then you beat the shit out of him. Yeah. Pass it along.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. It's like a virus. It's like COVID.
Yeah, it's like a virus. Violence is like a virus. If you leave for one thing today?
Fucking hell. Well, you've been sitting on that, have you?
Yeah.
Couldn't you said that episode 1? That's incredible.
Well, I had to wait till the virus was a year old, you know? Really get in there.
Yeah.
Really work my way in.
So that's that. Get us tell your friends and stuff.
We should probably say that at the beginning next time. That's supposed to, after half an hour of us reading out names. Hey,
we're nearly at 2 hours because we were reading out the names for about a quarter of that, you know.
But hey, if you like it, tell your friends if you're still here.
It is crazy that I think people actually might like it, you know.
Yeah, they love it.
Do you love it? Send the letters in.
They're not listening
to us at robgalesemail.com. All right. All right.